This is the Hard Mark Podcast, starring Eric Donaldson and Ryan Murphy. Hey, folks! It's that time. It's the Hard Mark Podcast, episode 9. I am your host, Eric Donaldson. With me, as always, is the talent, the Mater D of Matt Drama, Ryan Murphy. How the fuck are you doing, Ryan Murphy?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm glad. See, there we go. The energy's already up. Yeah. When you yell at people, the energy has to be up.
Did you tell by the first statement?
Yeah.
That the energy was good?
Yes, I could tell. I could see it in your eyes, that twinkle that, maybe some episodes you don't have. I can tell you got it. And it's a good time to be all jazzed and amped up.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about, woo, the Nature Boy. So that'll happen.
Too much fun.
Too much energy. I got that cough energy going on. Before we go into the main topic of today, I wanted to just thank everybody, the audience, for listening, downloading, streaming, liking, subscribing, telling their immediate family, aunt, uncle, cousin, nephew, niece, grandmother, grandfather, sister, brother, whoever it may be. Thank you for telling them all about it. I hope that we delight your auditory senses with this yet another fine episode of the Hard Mark Podcast. You can find us on all social media channels. Very active on social media is one Ryan Murphy. So you can find us all right.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. We're not on some of those things, but we are on others. So just, look for us. And maybe when you're not looking, we might even follow you. That's not weird to say, right? I don't think.
It was good.
Before we got started with our recording here today, we have a lot of things to talk about. But before we get too far into this, I showed you a video of someone kind of doing some very early wrestling training. And is that kind of what you expected as far as what somebody would be doing as a kind of student of professional wrestling? No?
I didn't expect them to do any training after what I've been watching the last 9 episodes.
What?
Yeah, very little.
What do you mean, very little? Do you think this is like an easy thing to do?
My impression was that they kind of picked up a local match, backyard type of wrestling match, got into it, and just kind of went from there. Are
you insinuating that Hulk Hogan started in someone's backyard?
Yes, everybody. Well, maybe certain people took different channels.
Shingo Takagi would have never wrestled.
That's true.
Backyard.
I mean, Japanese wrestlers, sure, they might do some formal training. Anybody in the U.S., I would have put my money on they somehow worked their way in without any.
Now I'm looking at like the list of people, and I'm trying to think. Like you're just like slagging off Taz, Bam Bigelow, The Shield, the Wyatt. Every single one of them. You're saying, "Oh yeah, he probably picked it up in a backyard or something." It's in many cases it's like 6 months of training, minimum. Why is that so funny?
It's really.
So why is that so funny? Because it doesn't look. Just say it. Because it doesn't look difficult to you. You see it, and it looks so easy that anyone could do it.
It's a tough question. Because it does not look.
It's a high energy episode.
It does not look like anybody. It looks painful. It just looks like they're kind of crazy. Like they're just in general, these people like aren't maybe all there all the time.
Sure. Okay. I'll agree.
It does not look like they have gone to formal, like where they had to come from the minor leagues and work their way up to the professional stage at all. But go ahead. It
continue.
It does not look like something I would ever be able to jump in and do.
Sure. So I think from a physicality standpoint, you could probably like do it and it would be okay. You take the falls, you take the chops, you do all that type of stuff. For me, the part that's always seemed kind of daunting has been the idea of not making it look awkward as you're transitioning from one thing to the next. Like you're trying to make it appear to be a simulated fight between these two people. And if you just put me in the ring, let's say you put the two of us in a ring somewhere, like what is the realistic chance that what we cobbled together between the two of us would actually
probably
look
not good,
somewhat cohesive? So
but we didn't grow up backyard wrestling. At least I didn't.
Nobody's perfect. I did do a fair amount of backyard wrestling.
Did you really?
Well, yeah, no, not really.
This is something we might have to.
So I'm sure you played like backyard football and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Very frequently among my friends in my neighborhood, the backyard football would sort of devolve into backyard wrestling.
Okay.
And so we would do wrestling moves to one another.
Yeah.
After tackling each other and stuff like that.
Nice.
So especially in like the height of the Attitude Era where, Ric Flair was doing his thing, Stone Cold, The Rock, etc. That's really kind of what what stoked our fire, so to speak, in terms of our backyard.
Okay, that makes sense.
But we didn't. You didn't have a ring. No, we didn't build a ring. We didn't have title matches or.
But
anything
those are around. Like people host little small matches. I mean,
It's happened. I wouldn't. There have been wrestlers who have actually like literally gotten their start doing that. That has happened.
See,
that's not the majority of them. But the majority of them go through a wrestling school, much like what we saw in the video. Which, for anyone curious to check it out, it's Chris Van Vliet. He's a pretty noteworthy wrestling interviewer. He interviews wrestlers from all over, and he trained to be a wrestler in the early 2000s. And it didn't pan out, but he was kind of running through some of the drills and running the ropes, taking bumps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I would assume they take more like acting classes than actual wrestling classes.
You say you assume that they do?
That's what I would have assumed.
Oh, okay.
Like
no,
more
I mean,
theatrical. There's just the drama that goes into it.
I think a lot of it early on is you're trying to get your body used to the idea of falling repeatedly, because it's initially a very jarring sort of sensation, and you have to get acclimated to falling over. And I mean, if you were to count the number of times that you're falling in one match, in a lot of cases, I mean, it's going to be 20 or 30 times.
I think that's fair, but I think that like. And while there's training in other sports and there's kind of a progression to get where you want to go.
Yeah.
I think there's more physical sports than wrestling. Like as far as impact, just raw and maybe not hitting your back, but like raw impact.
Sure.
So I still don't understand why this is so hard to fall on your back.
So with a lot, I mean, the most physical sport that I can think of would be, like football or rugby or something like that.
Yeah.
And, that would be difficult, but you're sort of in that situation, you are attempting to break your own fall. Like you'll put an arm down or you're kind of, tuck your chin. You'll do things to protect yourself when you're coming down, or you just fall on top of another person. In this case, you're simultaneously trying to keep yourself safe, but you're also trying to make it look visually good while doing it. So it's a matter of finding that balance of making it look as devastating as possible while also not killing yourself in the process. So I think that's where it comes into play, and just falling down on your back, throwing yourself backwards onto your back, and also taking care to not, have your head hit the mat behind you and give yourself a concussion. Like those are the things that you're sort of training in wrestling school.
I'm not saying it's not an art.
Sure.
I get it. It is impressive. I'm just saying I would not have expected for people to for there to be any sort of like schooling on this, or maybe not any sort, but like definitely not a structured 6-month course that you take. Or
a lot of them aren't structured. A lot of it's like, okay, what's the last thing we
video we watched today? That was
that was one of the more structured ones I think I've seen. But most of them are just kind of you drop in when you drop in. It's like, okay, what's the last thing that you learned how to do? Great, we're going to now build off of that. Now you're going to learn how to take a front flip, or you're going to learn how to do, lockups or whatever the case may be. So, but you did say that you would be interested in.
I would do that 100%. just because I've said it so many times now.
Yes,
that I would absolutely move forward with the actual act of doing it.
That's my quest.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
my goal in my life is to somehow facilitate you being able to take.
Just put it together, Eric.
If I need to purchase a ring and put it in my garage,
I bet you would.
I would seriously consider it. I'll price what rings are.
Take out a home equity loan, get a ring.
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll think about it. So, anything else of interest going on in the world of Ryan that you want to let our listeners in on?
Just another, let's say Tuesday, but it's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's not Tuesday.
I mean, it's not Friday that they're listening to, but it's Friday that we're recording.
Maybe it's a Tuesday that they are listening to.
Could be. It could be any day of the week. It could be Easter. It could be May Day. It could be, Arbor Day even.
Yeah.
Could be any of those days. Let's get right into it. I think that we have a lot of things to talk about in regards to our topic today. So you did actually, I think maybe for the first time ever, you successfully completed your homework.
That's not true. I don't think I've ever been sent anything to actually watch.
I'm pretty sure that's happened at least once and you've never watched it.
Do you know what it?
No, I don't. I can't think of the specific scenario, but I'm pretty sure there have been situations where I've said, "Hey, if you can watch this, it'd be great," and then you never do it.
I mean, I watched a movie one time. Oh God, what movie was that?
For me?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Before the pot, you're talking about Bloodsport?
Bloodsport.
First of all, you're welcome for that. Don't try and make me out to be the bad guy because I forced you to watch one of the greatest films of all time. I'm sorry that I burdened you for an hour and a half of entertainment.
But just to my point, I do follow up. You
do on occasion. Yes.
Okay.
After you almost canceled on me today, but didn't. But you did watch it. So just to kind of set the stage, and I think I'll even try and input a little bit of audio from that clip. But it was a Ric Flair promo. It was a 3-minute interview. And honestly, I cannot think of a 3-minute video, 3-minute anything that would better encapsulate a human being than that did for Ric Flair.
I thought it took on wrestling as well. That's to me is what I think of.
I agree.
When I think of wrestling was that entire video.
In fact, here real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a little bit of that clip right now.
Wrestling Ric Flair, and here is the World Heavyweight Champion.
Girls, why don't you give it to him one more time? Woo! That's who's standing here today. The World Heavyweight Champion. Only one. And you're looking, girls, I can't stand it. Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. Nikita Koloff, we've only just begun. That's the end of it. Dusty Rhodes, don't ever make the mistake of sticking your nose in my business. If I'm down and out, I'll get up and take care of myself. So Dusty Rhodes, remember, when you walk out here, talking Ric Flair, don't think you can walk in that ring and give me a hand or try to help me out and ease the tension in our relationship. Philadelphia, I'm going to tear you down. Pensacola, Florida, when I get to town, we're going to treat all you women, the way women ought to be treated. Because the NWA and some real men are going to take that Civic Center apart, and then we all going to be over at Rodeo, driving the women wild. Miami Beach, get ready. We on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilt liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
And now we're back. All right, go on.
I think I was trying to gauge more of Greta's reaction when we were watching it.
That's right. I forgot that
I did watch it with her. Yeah.
Has she watched any? has she, after you've come home, I'm not sure how over the moon you are about some of these matches that we watch. I don't know how much you're telling her about this, but has she felt compelled to seek out any of these things, or was this more or less her first experience of watching anything related?
This was like, as far as anything we've watched, yeah. Actually, probably any wrestling.
Sure.
This was it, yeah, for sure. So I was just trying to get. She didn't react a ton.
I don't know how you couldn't react. It's one of the greatest promos I've ever heard.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep those alligators down. That was the end of the goddamn pro. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So she had no reaction.
So she didn't have no reaction. She just didn't have, like, I don't know.
It was more like a smirk, just like a, huh, and then moved along.
Yeah. I'm trying to kind of put this back together.
Sure. It's been a little bit.
I think that's probably what she thought of wrestling too, and so she maybe didn't like pick up a a
bleached blonde man screaming at the
like just exactly what she expected. She's like kind of blew it off. But yeah, I think she just kind of took it as what it was.
Okay, well, that's fair. What did you think?
Like I said, that to me.
We haven't watched a ton of promos. We've watched a lot of interviews so far, so that's one of the few that we have. How did that strike you? Were you impressed?
That's what I envision pro wrestling. Yes, I mean it was a good 3-minute watch. It was better than the 15-minute watch we had last week. I mean that was pretty good too. But yes,
Vampiro versus Kiss Demon.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
What did I put that as?
Yeah, it's currently 7th out of 8.
I kind of want to move it up. Anyway, it was worth that 3 to 4 minutes to watch it. It was good, but like that to me is what wrestling is. I
don't disagree.
It's
wrestling at its best.
Mm-hmm.
It should be something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I do want to, is the 30 for 30. Is it what? I don't even know what a 30 for 30 is, what their business is with this guy.
What does that mean? What's their business with O.J. Simpson? What's their
O.J. Simpson was a major college football player, professional football player. Yeah. So I mean that's their.
Ric Flair is the greatest of all time, sir.
I do want to watch it. I really do. I am disappointed that I didn't watch it and bring it.
Are you incredulous because it's not an actual sport? Is that what it is?
I'm a little surprised ESPN picked it up.
ESPN and WWE have quite the partnership that's developed over the past several years.
Do they?
Yeah. They get a little bit of coverage on SportsCenter every now and again.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch a lot of SportsCenter.
It's not like highlights of what happened on Monday Night Raw or anything like that. But they do a lot of cross promotion.
Is that a Disney thing that they're like tied in? Because I know I keep seeing it on Fox now. Like it's a major
right.
But I didn't. Yeah. I didn't know Disney or ESPN was big.
WWE's gone really far to try and kind of be more mainstream and stuff like that. Mm. So I think that they've been extending olive branches and stuff. And so Brock Lesnar will occasionally do interviews on SportsCenter, which makes sense because he comes from the UFC background and stuff like that. Mm. But he'll be promoting WrestleMania or he'll be promoting whatever.
I don't not like the idea. I love the idea that they did something like this. I was just surprised, and it's such a well done. That 30 for 30 is kind of top of the line. So I was just a little surprised. So I do want to go back and watch it. Maybe I'll give you my take once I do. I will eventually. But
okay, yeah, Nature Boy. But it's just profiling his life. It's very much similar to any other sort of biographical 30 for 30 they put out, but it's about one of the most flamboyant characters of all time, wrestling or otherwise. So well worth your time. For me, I found that I knew most of the stories, so it was less informative for me, but I think you would get a kick in.
You could have done the 30 for 30.
I could have probably put it together, yes, with what I know. There's a couple of interesting kernels, but a lot of it I knew. So let's talk about what's causing all this, which is Ric Flair. Ric Flair is causing all this. As you may have gathered during the interview, he is the kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, woo, son of a gun.
Just quick to the point.
That
little blurbs right there
tells you everything you need to know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Ric Flair, here's how I describe it. If you just condense to 80s excess just what the 1980s represented as far as, rich people and doing cocaine and stuff like that, it would be Ric Flair.
There you go. Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought it was very eloquent myself. So there was, and in fact, one of the parts, this promo is so good. I cannot speak highly enough about how good that interview that I linked to you is. The line where he told that other wrestler that he had spent more money that year on spilt liquor from one side of the world to the other than he made was so good. So Ric Flair is a big fucking deal. Like even now, Ric Flair is a big deal. Like there's hip hop songs coming out about Ric Flair now.
I can see that.
But people have actually, because of this promo that we listened to, people have actually done the calculations to determine if Ric Flair likely spent more money on spilt liquor than that other wrestler made. It doesn't appear that he did, but it was very close.
So I don't know on the premise of this fight. Who did he fight? Was this a bigger, big, small, or medium name?
It was a small to medium name. That's who he was talking about. I believe, what was the guy's name in the promo? I have to remember it off the top of my head.
That's not the match we're watching, is it?
No, that's not the match. That was just him going off. And like during that promo, he goes off on like 4 or 5 or 6 different people. And that's how like wrestling in that company, in WCW, we'll just call it WCW. That's how it was for them. Like he was the champion for almost that entire decade of the 80s. More often than not. I actually went back and I tried to determine how long was Ric Flair champion for throughout his entire career. And it was almost 10 years in total. Now, granted, it wasn't the entirety of the 80s, but like a good chunk of the 80s he was. So he like everybody would be kind of targeting him. So he had things going on with a lot of different people. But somebody actually did the math of, okay, so if Ric Flair says that he would pour out a drink to try and keep up with people every now and again, and like it's likely that he would spill a little bit every now and again, like Buddy Landel, that's who it was.
Oh, that's the guy who he fought against.
Yeah, that's the guy who claimed that he was making more money. And so somebody took like, okay, Buddy Landel probably would have made X amount of money that year. Here's how much Ric Flair would have been actually spending on liquor of that. Here's what spilt liquor would have come out to be. But it was
they should throw that in like a Tableau, fucking like data visualization, and just let us see.
We need some analytics.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is what these tools were built for.
Absolutely. Yeah. Determining spilt liquor costs.
Yeah.
But I love that line so much. It's so fucking good. Ric Flair, and I know that I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible because I know in the past episodes we've kind of had some confusion around this. Ric Flair, the human being, is basically identical to Ric Flair, the wrestler. Like what you saw in that video is that guy. It's well documented that he would wrestle. He was wrestling almost every single night back then. He would go out to the bars after he wrestled. He'd sleep with a bunch of women. He'd travel to the next town. And he'd do it all over again. That was Ric Flair's life.
Poor guy.
I don't think Ric Flair could exist today. Like that guy would not. It just wouldn't work. It fit that time and place in that period so well that you couldn't transport it into now.
I get that.
Like
and like for the public image,
socially, public image wise, like it wouldn't work, but it worked to a T in the 1980s. Just a little bit of backstory about our friend Ric Flair here. So he was actually involved in a plane crash in October of 1975.
Jesus. Like what kind of plane?
Tiny plane.
Okay.
So there was like maybe 8 to 10 people on this plane. Most of them ended up with pretty significant injuries. The pilot died.
That's great.
Aside from the pilot, they were all wrestling people. So they were wrestlers or people that were employees of the wrestling company. There was another wrestler who was paralyzed in this, and Ric Flair broke his back in 3 places.
How old was he?
In 1975, let's find out.
He was wrestling in the 80s, so he couldn't like.
His birthday was in February 25th, 1949.
Oh, shit.
So he would have been 25, 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking that's old.
What, 25 or 26?
No,
You're 30, pal.
Not 30. The audience to know that.
But yes, 1975, broke his back in 3 places. He was out for 8 months and then he came back.
He came back to wrestling.
And
Plane crash doesn't change your...
I don't know. It's crazy, but he did have to change his style. And actually, I didn't plan on this. I just watched that video about the guy training earlier today. So you noticed how when the guy in the video earlier, when he was taking his bumps, it was flat. Mm-hmm. You want everything to be flat because otherwise you really run the risk of hurting yourself if you're landing all awkwardly. After that plane crash, if you watch a Ric Flair match, he never ever landed flat on his back. He would always land on one side, which they always teach you, don't do that because you're going to hurt yourself. He never did.
Like, is he like landing on his arm or is he landing on just kind of one side of his back?
Kind of one side of his back. Yeah. Maybe a little bit on the arm, but not like on his shoulder or anything like that. But yeah, he would always not take it on his spot.
Was that like, okay, is that something you picked up on or like that's like kind of a...
I always noticed it.
You did.
They don't ever address it really on commentary.
I guess they wouldn't, yeah.
But I mean, they would talk about the plane crash. Like it was common knowledge. Although when the plane crash happened, it was a mixture of good guys and bad guys on the plane. And so they had to make up a big convoluted story to like explain why these people would all be traveling together. Just because that's how the business was protected back then. Nowadays, it wouldn't matter. But back then, it was fucking serious and you had to protect that shit.
I love that. That's the best part, yeah.
Yeah. It's too... you couldn't do it anymore with the internet and how much knowledge is out there, but it is kind of a cool... industry to look back on and kind of see how secretive everything was back then. But yeah, even though he broke his back in 1975, he wrestled for another 20 years after that. And he had been wrestling for several years.
Up to that. I mean, already you're like 45-ish, mid-40s, he wrestled.
Gosh, actually, I think I'm doing a disservice by saying wrestled for another 20 years. I think it was probably pushing another 30 years.
That's crazy.
Granted, the matches became fewer and farther between towards the end of his career, but he was an old man when he finally retired.
See, I would think you'd almost be better off like boxing at an old age than like doing any sort of...
That really worked out well for a Muhammad Ali, yeah.
That's such a subject.
Is it?
Well, I mean, he Parkinson's, right? And I think it was...
Yeah, but it was probably onset on account of brain trauma.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That was another 30
That's
for 30.
That's a sensitive subject. Eric.
Is it?
I think so.
I'm just saying you wouldn't want to be an old man boxer for that very reason.
No, you're right. My point isn't head trauma. Head trauma is its own sensitive subject.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm saying like when you're 50, let's say you're 50, like how can you even do these like movements on a wrestling match? How's your body would crack. Like
I mean, so that's part of the like getting your body acclimated to just standard bumps. Like generally speaking, a 50-year-old man's not going to go out there and be jumping off the top rope out to the floor or anything like that. You have to adapt and kind of be aware of what your body's capable at that point. But
and people still wanted to. I mean, I guess if it's a big name, but like, is that as entertaining?
No, a lot of it's more nostalgia. You know, people remember how they were. They want to see them.
Can we watch an old Ric Flair match at one point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we absolutely
like an old, like when he's old.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We will watch an old.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, Hulk Hogan wrestled.
Hulk Hogan's one of those guys. Like he's like so big that like I don't think his bones could crack. I don't know.
He's had to have a ton of back surgery. Yeah. Hulk Hogan has. He's still huge. But he's had to have significant back injury. His finishing move was the big leg drop, which, I mean, it doesn't look like much. It's just a guy jumping in the air, landing on his butt. But I guess over time, the pressure on his tailbone just got to the point where he's had to have like 5 or 6 back surgeries and a bunch of fusion surgeries because he's like a 6'7" man that 300 nights a year was just boop, boop, and it took a toll. He said in later years, he wished that as his finishing move, he would use a clothesline instead. So there you go. Hindsight being 20/20. Too bad, Hulkster. Speaking of the Hulkster, so we've talked a little bit, like Hulk Hogan was the guy for the WWF throughout the majority of the 1980s. And we've seen a couple of Hulk Hogan matches in the 1980s.
It's going to be Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. Will it ever happen? Who knows?
Oh, that has not happened.
No. Oh, well, we haven't gotten that far on the science yet. hard to say. But you kind of briefly describe to me your impression of like what Hulk Hogan is. Like, how would you describe to Greta, for example, who is Hulk Hogan?
I mean, he wears a mustache down to his shoulders, that kind of guy.
Okay.
But
the character, like,
the
character is not a mustache.
Are you sure? I would almost define him as his mustache.
Uh-huh.
Big yellow suited, mustache wearing, reality TV. I did watch his reality TV show, but
Hogan is best. Better to not talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But brother, like,
okay, sure. So that I was hoping for something else.
Oh.
So Hulk Hogan, the character, is in the 80s. Let's keep it to the 1980s decade. He was a super patriotic, good guy hero figure. Always talk about the Hulkamaniacs, the little Hulkamaniacs. He was fighting for the kids. He was fighting for God and country. Just the all-American superhero. Would you agree with this synopsis from what you've seen? I know that it's only been a limited, but like against Macho Man, against Andre the Giant, he's the all-American good guy hero.
Was my description not enough too?
I just wanted
wear a mustache.
These are all good things, but I just wanted to kind of.
I don't know him as like, but yes, I could see that.
I'm here to tell you that's Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
So he was for the WWF, and they were obviously the biggest wrestling company, definitely in the United States and probably even the world at that point in time. Now, the other major wrestling company in the US was called WCW. We've talked about WCW. We've seen a few WCW matches, even last week or last episode, I should say. We watched a WCW match. They weren't always called WCW. There was weird management things. We don't have to get into it, but the NWA is also what it was referred to as.
The NWA.
Okay. Don't you. The National Wrestling Alliance. Which dates back, I think it's over 100 years old at this point.
Is it really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Legitimately. So the National Wrestling Alliance, what it was, and this is another super fascinating aspect of pro wrestling. So the National Wrestling Alliance was a collection of promoters. So let's say that you operated here in the Pacific Northwest, right? So you'd have a specific grouping of territory. So you would run shows in Seattle and Portland, maybe Boise, whatever. Like that's kind of your bubble. That's your territory to run. Think of it as similar to like the mafia. In like, this is my area, you don't encroach on my area. And so you had the United States and even Canada that was split among all these different promoters. And that was what constituted the alliance between all these different groups. Mm-hmm. And so each regional area, they would promote their shows, and usually you'd have like a top good guy star for your area. And so your top good guy would kind of be like fighting other local guys and et cetera, et cetera. But maybe once or twice a year, that's when the NWA champion would show up. And your top good guy from your area would then get a chance to fight for the national, like the NWA championship. And you didn't get to see the champion all that often, again, maybe once or twice a year. And so it was a big fucking deal. It was like the heavyweight boxing champion coming to your town. And so they just do huge gates, huge amounts of people would come to see like, oh, this is the wrestling world.
This was international.
It was this was in the U.S. and Canada.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but the NWA champion did occasionally wrestle in like Japan and Puerto Rico and other places, but is primarily based in the United States. And so a couple times a year, all these different promoters, so you have your New York, your Florida, your California, et cetera, all these people would get together and they would vote on who they wanted the champion to be. And so different people had different amounts of power depending on like, so the New York territory would be a really, really powerful one because, I mean, there's a ton of money coming through there. And, Texas would be another really big area.
So they voted, they didn't match to like,
No, they voted on who.
So they just played in their like regions.
Yeah.
And then they were voted upon to represent that region.
They were voted upon for who is going to represent all of them as the champion. So let's say that you have a guy and he's your top guy and you're like, I want my guy to be the champion. So you would pitch it at one of these meetings and everyone would have a vote on, okay, should this person be the next champion? And if so, when would that happen, et cetera. And so if that person then became champion, then they would start touring all around the country, defending the title against the top good guys of their area. So to be the NWA champion, you had to be a really good bad guy, and you had to convince people wherever you went, oh, that guy had a chance at beating him. Like, that guy would have beaten, let's just say, Ric Flair. That guy would have beat Ric Flair if he just had another minute. Mm-hmm. If he just had one more minute, that guy would have beat Ric Flair. So, like, it was a completely different business model for the NWA than it was for the WWF. In the WWF, you would bring in a huge fucking bad guy. Hulk Hogan would beat that bad guy, and then you kind of shuffle that bad guy back down the card and get rid of him eventually. In the NWA, you had to go from place to place, make the top local good guy look like $1 million and be like, oh, he almost had him next time. And so then when you came back, there was an incentive for people to be like, okay, now he's going to beat the champion. And so that was the NWA. And so that's what Ric Flair, he was probably, if not, he probably was the greatest NWA champion because he was so good at making other people look like monsters, look unstoppable. But he would just, by the skin of his teeth, somehow, some way, he would cheat. He would just fuck that guy and get out of there.
In wrestling.
Unheard of. Yeah. Completely. Yeah. He invented it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd either get disqualified or there'd be a time limit or something would happen where he would just barely make it out. But then he would talk all braggadocious and be like how he's the best of all time and stuff like that. And so neither philosophy, there's not a right or a wrong way. It's just different. And so that's kind of how, like, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, two different sides of the same coin. You present one guy as the guy, and the other guy is like, okay, he's not as good as he says he is, and I know that someone else can beat him. Whereas Hulk Hogan was like Superman. Yeah, who can be Superman? So, any thoughts, any questions?
I'm wondering what the match is
that we're going to be watching here today. Okay. We're just about to that point. One other thing.
Yeah.
So you remember the Harlem Heat versus the Steiner brothers, our bottom ranked match at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
If you recall, that there was a nice multi-course meal set out ringside.
Yeah, like grapes,
all sorts of fruits. Yeah. Maybe even some dips, some nice ranch. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So that was the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen were Ric Flair's. That was his group. And so it was him, and they weren't really his family, but they claimed to be his cousins. And so he formed this group to basically watch his back and like cheat for him. So they would interfere in his matches and help him win the title and hold on to the title and stuff. So he's a founding member of the Four Horsemen. The four Horsemen are going to play a role into this match slightly, which we'll see.
They were so good last time.
They were so good. They're going to do a little bit more than they did last time. But there's been a lot of different Four Horsemen members. Like there's the original group in the 80s, and then it kind of changed. Ric Flair was the only constant member of the Four Horsemen. Ric Flair and another guy, which we'll talk about at the point. Last thing I wanted to say about Ric Flair, legitimately, Ric Flair gave my little sister nightmares when she was young. She would have Ric Flair nightmares where he was like, running around screaming at her.
I'm just trying to, did you have like a Ric Flair like wig or anything? Like,
no, this wasn't me. I wasn't torturing her, but there was a particular match that I would watch where he does this promo afterwards and he's just covered in blood and his hair looks insane. And I think she just happened to be walking by and saw just this crazed figure shouting at the screen, and it scarred her. So that, just a little quick aside.
Poor sister.
Yeah, well, she's made do. She's doing okay. Okay, so for our match, it's going to be Ric Flair, who we know all about now, versus Sting. Do you remember Sting? Well, sort of. I don't know if we actually saw Sting in the last episode, but we at least saw an allusion to Sting.
Good. This is, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you get the full story, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Sting, just to give you a little bit of backstory, there's not as much to talk about regarding Sting, but he was
did he like come back from the dead?
This match happened in 1990, July of 1990. So this was like 10 years before he tragically was killed by Vampiro by falling 30 feet off of the stage while set on fire. So Sting is a forward bodybuilder. Started wrestling in 1985. I would say along with Ric Flair, they were probably the two people that were most closely associated with WCW or the NWA, whatever you want to call it. He was WCW's answer to Hulk Hogan. So he was a little bit different, but like he was meant to appeal to like kids.
But it didn't do well, I assume.
It didn't do well.
Did it? I've never heard of this guy.
Sting?
Yeah.
He played bass for the Police.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding.
Jesus. Why did you bring that up?
Because that guy's name is Sting as well.
Oh.
The assistant of the Police.
I am not
They're friends. They have over the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, Hulk Hogan, you hear a bunch about, even Ric Flair to some degree. I've never heard of Sting as a,
I mean, so WCW wasn't as popular, wasn't as mainstream as WWF. Like WWF at its peak, I mean, Hulk Hogan, he hosted Saturday Night Live one time.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s.
Yeah.
He was a big deal. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated one time, also in the 80s. The WCW didn't have that type of power to infiltrate the mainstream and kind of get people's attention. So, yes, Sting was really, really popular, but he was never a mainstream star. But he was very good. He was significantly younger than Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, so he was a lot more athletic. But he was meant to be sort of their answer. And I remember as a kid, I didn't dislike Sting, but I thought that's a knockoff of Hulk Hogan. So it instantly sort of turned me off.
I've never seen him.
So at this point in time, in the match we're going to watch, he was just a big, tall, blonde guy. He had hair, unlike Hulk Hogan, but he was also built from being Venice Beach, which I thought was a direct ripoff from Hulk Hogan. Sometimes when you're a kid, you latch onto weird things. But Hulk Hogan was billed as being from Venice Beach, California. And that's where they built Sting from. And I was like, that's bullshit. There's only one person from Venice Beach, and that's the Hulkster.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me read to you the lyrics of Sting's theme song. I know it's been a while since we've gone through one of these.
Yeah. No, but they're always worth it.
They're all really good. Here we go. Man Called Sting lyrics. Okay. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. The man called Sting. The man called Sting. He's a man called Sting. The man called Sting. He does this. He does that. He's big as a bull and quick as a cat. He looks fine. He looks cool. He's his own man, and he's nobody's fool. Don't double-cross him or get in his way, 'cause if you do, you're going to have to pay to the man called Sting.
I'm intimidated.
I'll go to the next verse. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't
way
it?
more. Yeah, no.
Is there a course?
It's basically, it's the man called Sting bit. He's not like anybody else. If his friends ever need him, he's there to help. And all the kids, they go wild. And all the old people start to act like a child. And then it's more man called Sting. It's like 20 more man called Stings.
There's no more verses.
There is. Should I keep going?
I mean,
do you want to hear more? I'll just jump to those.
Yeah.
I haven't actually heard this much of this song. All of the world, he's such a smash. You know it's over when he does the stinger splash. He loves his honey. He loves the rock. But no one important loves the scorpion deathlock. That's his finishing maneuver. It's a scorpion deathlock. It's a submission hold. Ric Flair's finishing move is the figure 4 leg lock.
Yeah, we'll see it. I
think we will. I think we will see it. Really curious. So the figure 4 leg lock. Really quick aside.
Yeah,
figure 4 leg lock is one of my favorite submission holds. It's so weird, but I love it. You could never do it in a real fight, but if you somehow could, it would be amazing, and like the person could not escape. It's like a leg hold where you twist around their leg and you're both laying down on the ground. You're putting pressure on their knee, but like legitimately, and I've done this. I've done many figure 4 leg locks to people. If both people turn over on their belly, so you'll see that one guy will try and turn over. If you can successfully turn the other person, then it reverses the pressure and the pressure goes on the person who applied the move. That's
intense.
And that's real. I've done it.
You've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've tested it. I've been both the applicant and also the reverser, and it does reverse the pressure. So if anyone wants me to teach you the figure 4 leg lock, I'm happy to do so. Everybody wonders what he's going to do. That's okay. Little Stingers believe in him. That's all he needs to win the title again. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So there you go.
But it's getting better.
I know. It was really escalating. I don't know if it was as good as the Steiners and, how they don't do drugs and they're always on top, but it's pretty good. I think the same lady sings both. But as far as the actual build up to this match, just so you kind of get an idea. So Sting was a member of the Four Horsemen. What a world. But the Four Horsemen, when he was a member, were good guys. Sting was then kicked out of the Four Horsemen and beaten up by the group after he won the right to challenge Flair for the NWA Championship. Shortly after that, he injured his knee and was out for the next 5 months. When he returned, the match was made between Sting and Ric Flair for the World Championship, and that's what we're going to be watching here today. So July 1990. So this is Sting's return from his knee injury. Ric Flair had kicked him out of the Four Horsemen, and now they're going to settle the score at Great American Bash.
So this is a little off topic, but it's back in, say, 1990.
Yeah.
Was this build up and storyline and like did people actually believe it?
Some people did.
I'm sure some people did. Was it widely, or was it mostly just entertainment?
It was, by this point, I think it was mostly entertainment. So,
but in the 80s, people you would say it was more skewed towards people believing it.
I don't know how much for me, I did. For me, I believed it.
Well, you were what?
I was 6. But I believe
not a great excuse, but
yeah, I know. I think it was less about people believing it and more about the suspension of disbelief. It was not doing things to make it egregiously obvious that it was fake. So people were able to kind of suspend their disbelief for at least a little bit and do that. I remember hearing all sorts of stories. There's a wrestler that eventually we'll watch named Terry Funk, where Terry Funk had this quote where he said, I can't make people believe that it's real, but I can make people believe that I'm real. And so I think that was the philosophy of a lot of guys of going out there and trying to at least portray themselves somewhat seriously. And nowadays, since the secret's out and everybody kind of knows how everything works, there's a lot less commitment to that.
That's why, because it doesn't seem nearly, even as a kid growing up, the WWE or wrestling in general was a big but I just don't see it anymore.
And I think that's why a lot of the style of wrestling has changed over time. I mean, we've seen a couple of modern matches and there's a lot more acrobatics. There's a lot more flying around. Whereas in the 80s and 90s, it was more ground based and it was presented as more or less a real fight with things that are obviously.
I like it.
If I threw you in a direction, you would not run against the ropes, bounce off, and come back to me. That would not happen. So there is a certain level where you.
But as kids, you could get together and be really stoked about the storyline and watching them. Yeah,
absolutely. So that is one thing that's changed. The last thing I wanted to mention before we get into this match, which just for the record, I know that I try and mention this every time. I don't believe this match is available for free anywhere. So again, this is another WWE Network thing that you have to subscribe to. But if you are curious, it's Sting versus Ric Flair, Great American Bash 1990. Maybe someone has put it up on Vimeo or something. I don't know. But the last thing that I wanted to mention before we watch the match, ways of cheating in professional wrestling. I don't think we've addressed this. We know how you can win a match in professional wrestling, but I don't think we've addressed how you can cheat, different ways of cheating. Ric Flair was known as the dirtiest player in the game. So oftentimes he would cheat in any number of ways. One way of cheating is use of illegal objects.
Jump out of a tree.
Well, unless it's a graveyard match, and then it's one within the rules. But, steel chairs, also a frequent weapon that Ric Flair would use. Brass knuckles.
That seems like fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of times he would have brass knuckles down his trunks.
Yeah.
And then he would pull them out and slug a guy.
And then put him back in.
And then put him back in and hit him. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh. So that was or he'd have a manager, one of the Four Horsemen or somebody ringside. They'd slip him the knuckles and then he'd do that.
Classic.
Yeah. So that's one way of cheating. Another way of cheating is using the ropes for leverage.
That's not encouraged.
No, it is not. It is illegal. If either participant is in the ropes, that is technically, like, you'll see the referee start counting because they're not supposed to be in the ropes. It's like boxing.
They cannot bounce off of them.
Bouncing off of them is fine, but like sustained contact with the rope is no. That's a no-go.
Okay.
So if you back your opponent, like let's say you shove somebody in the ropes and you're like holding them there, the referee will intervene and be like 1, 2, and you got to break by 5 or there's a disqualification.
Got it.
So it's the same thing. If I'm pinning you and you put your foot on the rope, that pin is now invalid because you're in the ropes and that doesn't count anymore.
That seems like a great way to get out of a pin.
We'll see that at some point in time. I don't know if we'll see it today, but conversely, if you are trying to cheat, there's certain moves like submission moves where if you tug on the ropes, that gives you more leverage to apply more pressure on the hold. So that's illegal. And you can also use it for pinning a person. So sometimes you'll see instead of someone just laying on top of another guy, they'll prop their feet up on a rope so that way they have more weight coming down on the person's body.
It's interesting that we've gone from like things that you like. These are kind of like technicalities. And then like you start off with brass knuckles, like all in one thing. You have to.
It's like the food pyramid.
Yeah.
You got to work your way up. So it's your base of brass knuckles. Yeah. That's easy to understand why that would be illegal. And you work your way up to leverage and the momentum.
I didn't understand. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. I'm a trainer. This is what I do. Low blows, eye gouges, eye pokes, that sort of thing. That's all illegal too.
I use that.
A lot of times the referee will be like, hey, don't do that again.
Yeah.
But like I've seen disqualifications off of low blows. Like that'll happen sometimes. If you're a real good bad guy, you'll somehow distract the referee and then low blows.
So it's cheating, but it's highly encouraged, all of this. Except for the technicalities. The refs don't like that. But like brass knuckles is like poking someone right in the
brass knuckles is an immediate disqualification.
Oh yeah?
If the referee sees it.
The referee sees it.
Well, that's why Ric Flair was the best at what he did.
I bet the referee sees a lot more like foot on the rope when you're getting pinned, more so than brass knuckles.
You're correct.
Good eye.
It's like, have you been watching wrestling when you haven't been over here? How did you know that? I don't know.
More so.
Last thing I could think of, there may be some other things that I'm forgetting, but the last thing I'll mention, pulling the trunks during a pin. So that's another leverage-based thing. So sometimes you'll see a guy roll up somebody, and so they'll like hang on to the guy's trunk so they have like the trunks for leverage. That's also illegal.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there you go. So that's how you cheat at wrestling.
And brass knuckles, eye gouges, and then
brass knuckles. You want to hold them? I've got brass knuckles right now. When I was talking about brass knuckles, I went to go grab brass knuckles. They feel good, right? Huh?
Where'd you get these?
They were a gift for officiating a wedding.
Oh yeah.
And they actually say "till death."
Is it engraved? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
Yeah, I have on my. Did you know that technically brass knuckles are illegal?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So those are not real brass knuckles.
Right.
Those are just rubber.
They feel soft.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Not the real thing. But brass knuckles illegal because apparently if you are close enough to use force or I don't know, it's weird. Look up brass knuckles laws, people. I'm not here to tell you about them, but they're technically illegal. Anything for Ryan's Corner? Ryan's Corner!
There's nothing more that I like than a fresh cut lawn. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Ready for that. Well, I think the audience should know by now. I did buy a boat.
That's right. You are a boat owner. Everyone knows one of the greatest investments that a human being can make is owning a boat.
Greta is very excited about the investment opportunity in this. And so we are getting ready for the spring and summer of this.
Have you figured out a name for the boat yet?
No.
Are you still thinking?
Oh, it's going to be.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a boat guy. You've had a raft for a while.
It did not go well at all.
You've never dreamed of like one day maybe I'll have a boat. Like you never like considered, what would I name my boat if I ever had one? Like you've never.
I didn't really know boat names were such a big deal, but they are apparently.
Absolutely, it's the best part of owning a boat is naming it.
I just have to. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I didn't realize that, but you are right. Mm-hmm. I'm working on it.
When we were talking off air, I think the part that surprised me the most is that you have a friend that you're close enough, who's not me, who would be willing.
You didn't offer to keep the boat.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't.
You have a 3-car garage.
Do not. I have a 2-car garage with a shop, sir.
That's right.
But there actually was when we first moved in, the people who lived here before us, they had a boat.
Did they?
Yeah. And it was a huge boat that was taking up like almost the entire garage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised that you found somebody who just had like the spare space and was willing to be, you can store the boat. Like I would not do that for any of my friends. Like anyone who's listening right now, if you ask me, will you store my boat for me, Eric? I would say no.
Well, Jared's a great guy. Just a shout out
to
Jared. Shout out to Jared.
Show Jared. Hey man. Big ups to Jared. Like and subscribe for Jared. Mash that subscribe button for Jared.
Yeah, he's got a space in the front. And are you
kicking him back some money for this? I hope so.
No, I want
to out to a nice dinner.
I told him he can free access to use the boat.
Oh, really?
Which I think is a fair trade off. Yeah.
What is going on with your finger?
I got it. I picked at it.
Is it
bleeding? I'm bleeding.
Are you bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Hope you don't have hepatitis or something.
That's that actually. There's a coronavirus.
That's how that's transferred.
Anyway, yeah. So that's what I'll be doing.
You're gonna be a boat guy, right in time for summer. Any particular areas that you like boating? Are you a fish? Do you fish?
I used to fish.
Are you going to start fishing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the boat's decked out for fishing, like completely. And the guy was almost like, I'm not going to study the boat if you don't take crabbing.
Oh. Well, as long as he didn't make you like sign a contract, you're fine.
Yeah. But so I'll be crabbing, fishing.
Okay.
The works.
Wow. When are you going to find the time to hang out here and talk about wrestling?
We could do a podcast on the boat.
I mean, all that wind. We'll just get some nice little, wind blockers from the microphone.
Yeah, you were annoyed with my, what did I still?
You do things still. A lot of times. So I'm glad that you actually brought bottles over today, because ordinarily when you have cans, you like flick the little tab.
Just a fidgety guy.
If I got you a fidget spinner, would you use it here? Like you can't take it home, but you can leave it here.
I've never been like a fidget spinner. Like I know a lot of people at work used to play with them, but I just fidget with like anything. Like it's hand motions.
Well, earlier you were rubbing your feet very sensually against the legs of the chair. I did. That's probably going to be picked up on the mic.
Was I?
Yeah, you were. I could hear it.
See, I don't even notice like that thing. And I know at work, because I work directly with people, and I know I'm doing this the entire time.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that you managed to somewhat curb the slapping and hitting, because that was a very common theme, but you seem to be making progress. For myself, I've noticed as I've started listening to more of these, lesser in the early episodes, but more lately, I've been saying the word like a lot, and now I'm catching it all the time. And so now I'm trying to.
My mom used to hate that. It was all like restart the sentence if you're going to say like. It was that severe. And it was a big thing in like in the 90s, 2000s.
Sure.
You like was at almost every, so my mom hated it.
I think my dad called me out at a Panda Express one time for saying like, and then I was trying to like, I was trying to come back and say, oh, well, you say man a lot, but he didn't.
There's something
I just needed
to stick.
Yeah, it wasn't my best work, but I blame the orange chicken. Anything else around boats or boating?
I think that's...
Or Ric Flair or limousine riding or jet flying, kiss dealing, wheelie dealing?
My greatest fear is a plane crash. So that's why I was interested in you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that by far, hands down, greatest fear. Borderline, like, I'll fly wherever, but I do not like getting on planes.
Sure. Plane crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
I mean, that would be a bad way to go, but
It'd be an awful way to go. I mean, just for like, it'd probably be pretty quick once you got down, but
sure.
The whole 30 seconds that you're going.
Oh yeah,
would be just
a stressful way to go.
Worst.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're gonna watch some wrestling. Stay tuned for this commercial break. Our lovely sponsor it's me, but on behalf of our lovely sponsor, I've got some wonderful things to talk to you about. So we'll see you in a little bit talking about Ric Flair and Sting, Great American Bash 1990. how excited are you? So officially, we had a 5-match losing streak going on for Ryan. Up until now, really trying to break that streak. And lo and behold, with the help of the Stinger, you did it. You accurately predicted Sting defeats Nature Boy Ric Flair.
I did.
For the World Heavyweight Championship. How do you feel?
I think we all loved it.
we all loved it. We loved that Ric Flair begged for mercy like 7 or 8 times. We loved all the chops. We loved it all.
I saw it. I saw him beg for mercy twice. And they were very dramatic. I cannot believe I missed 5 other potential.
It happened so many times.
Why did he beg for mercy so much?
It would always happen in so what would happen is Sting would no sell. So Ric Flair would hit him and then Sting would be like, nope, didn't feel that. I'm going to shake that right off. And then in response, Ric Flair would be like, oh God.
They did at one point, they hopped out of the ring and they were with and they're like, and the guy, it's man to man. Right. And then immediately he hopped in. He's like, oh my God, that was immediately after.
That was one of the more egregious examples of how ridiculous it was. Because you're right. He whips them into the metal guardrail. They're kind of standing there staring at each other. Ric Flair climbs into the ring and then immediately gets down on his knees like, oh, God!
That was the first one I noticed, and it was very odd. What happened? It was just a second ago you guys were facing off.
Well, you had to know what to look for. I think once you saw it happen that once, then it became obvious every time it happened. Well,
the second one was the last one, I think, right?
I believe so.
And that was also very...
Yeah. Another classic.
I don't think I've seen that in a wrestling match before.
Begging?
Yeah.
There's a few other people. No, we haven't seen it in any of the ones that we've watched, but that was absolutely a Ric Flair thing. And there were other wrestlers who would incorporate it, but I would have to say Ric Flair was probably one of the ones that he would equate to be like, oh yeah, he was the guy who would beg.
So weird. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because again, got to make the other guy look good. Got to make him look strong.
We lost, so.
And he did lose. He did lose. Yeah. A rare loss for the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Let's go to the notes. Let's go to the notes as we ride this high, as we just enjoy our time here. Sting promo. Your initial thought is he looks like Val Kilmer in Top Gun.
Oh yeah,
which he did. He the crew or what do you call it? Flat top?
Yeah,
he had the flat top and the aviators on.
Especially like dog tags.
Yeah,
Well,
nobody's perfect. He'll get there.
I think that I'm going to add it to his character.
And that Gordon Soley was the one doing the announcing, and I do appreciate the old time announcers that are
so good.
Yeah, you can just imagine him with putting out a cigarette immediately before they go up at the microphone. Sting, how do you feel before the big match?
The bow tie, the suit.
Yes.
The old mic, it's just, and the glasses.
The transition lenses.
Perfect. So good.
Everything you want. Everything you want.
Yeah.
The Ric Flair promo, classic promo, $2,000 suit. He said his famous line, to be the man, you gotta beat the man, which Sting did. Great hair, by the way. Speaking of hair, Ric Flair's hair looked magnificent.
It did. I would say my one time looked just as good.
I think that you would do well to bleach. I don't know what Greta's thoughts are, but I think just try it. Just give it a try. If you don't like it,
the bleached hair.
Yeah. Oh, can you just imagine the wind blowing through your bleached blonde hair?
I might do it again.
As you just woo across the lake.
Blake Stevens.
Lake Stevens.
Is
that going to be your preferred boating area, Lake Stevens?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
But, it's just that's where you want the long hair that you'll fit right in.
Oh, yeah. They'll think you're from Hollywood.
Yeah.
The dudes with attitude surrounded the ring to help protect, which that's such a 1990s name. So good.
And what year was this match?
1990.
It was, you're right.
July 1990.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Great American Bash, hence Sting's red, white, and blue gear.
When did NWA come out? Was it 92?
The rap group? Yeah, something like early 90s.
So these were the dudes with attitude.
So these are the dudes, they were the precursor.
I love it. And it just makes sense where dude came from now. I was like, is this kind of stuff? It's dudes.
Checks out. We saw the Gigante, the former Atlanta Hawks. I don't think he actually ever played for them.
What was that? They did handcuff each other, but they just kind of sat next to each other the whole match.
So the idea there was, Ole Anderson, that was the dude in the suspenders that looked again like another old man. Mm-hmm. He's a member of the Four Horsemen. So he's one of Ric Flair's lackeys. And so like almost their entire existence is to protect Ric Flair's championship, to make sure that Ric Flair doesn't lose the title. If he's in danger, you run in and you just get everyone disqualified. Like that's like, fuck it. Like,
is that what they were trying to do at the end?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Ric Flair was in danger. We got to run in and save him and just get the match tossed out.
Wasn't this 4 like guys around the ring that were like?
I'll get to that point in a second. We'll circle back around to the dudes with attitudes. So Ole Anderson's a member of the Four Horsemen. I think in that time he was operating as Ric Flair's main manager, so he'd be ringside. So the idea was, let's handcuff him to this 8-foot tall man so he can't go anywhere. So that was the idea. So instead of putting him in the back or handcuffing him to a stationary object, let's just handcuff him to this big tall string beam.
Okay.
So that was the idea there. And then the other guy, the dudes with the attitudes who were around the ring, were there in case the other Four Horsemen showed up.
Okay. And that was, they're not like worried about like security or anything. They're there for like his other.
Yes, exactly.
And were they the ones fighting at the end?
Yes. Those were the Four Horsemen that came running out. So if you remember,
that was security kind of came out and like fought. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ric Flair was in the Scorpion Deathlock, Sting's finishing maneuver. And when he was in the Scorpion Deathlock, that's when the Four Horsemen ran out like, oh shit, he's going to lose the title. Then the dudes with attitudes showed up. They beat them all back. The Horsemen didn't know what to do, so they just went back to the locker room. And then shortly thereafter, Ric Flair lost.
Okay, this is my impression. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this. You seem to love Ric Flair and the way he hypes himself up for a match. That's fair, but is he just a big talker and like a fucking huge pussy? Like, or is that like what the whole fucking like get down on my knees and like, oh my God, what? Sure. Like that was the craziest thing. One of them I've seen in like a wrestling, besides maybe the graveyard match. Like, right. That was so weird.
As a bad guy, yeah, pretty much. Like he would do that begging thing. Every single match.
So weird.
But in a lot of times, and I think he did it against Sting. I don't remember it. We can rewatch it. But a lot of times what would happen is he would do the beg thing, like, please, no, please. And then it would just be to sucker the guy in and then he'd gouge him in the eye.
And then you were saying like to win, like to kind of like, oh, he almost had him. Like,
yeah.
And he kind of went at the end by cheating or something.
Right. So he would lull them into a false sense of security. Like, hey, this guy's begging for his life. And then when they'd go down to like grab him by the hair, he'd poke him in the eye. Like that was a pretty frequent move that he would do. So
like the idea is giant pussy, like
it was more of a psychological thing, but I think at times it was legitimately meant to be like, oh shit, please don't kill me type of thing. So yes, I think in a lot of cases it was just him being a big pussy.
Interesting dynamic though. Mm-hmm. I did not expect.
Yeah. He wouldn't do, if he was a good guy, if he was wrestling as a good guy, right, he would not do that.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't beg off. But the Ric Flair character as a good guy was more or less the same. He would just maybe tone down a little bit of the expensive suit stuff. But I mean, that is just kind of the Ric Flair character. So it wouldn't be drastically different aside from less begging.
Got it.
Let's see here. A lot of leg working, a lot of knee work that we saw in the match.
It was inappropriate to do that much knee work on the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotta love the nice limb work.
Yeah.
I really like the part where Ric Flair hurt his butt.
I know, and he was so like after he like a ring move. He like had the guy's like leg on the ring, and he like jumped on it
on the ropes. Yeah,
what did I say?
The ring.
That's what I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
And then like he hurt his like glute. Like,
so yeah, what happened was he put, like you said, he put Sting's leg up on the bottom rope, bottom of the 3, and then he was going to jump up and then like crash down.
He was going to trampoline effect. It's not just like a regular. He was going to,
yes, he was going to trampoline, but he was going to go butt first trampoline on Sting's knee, which he had done earlier in the match, but this time Sting moved. Ric Flair's butt went into the ground, and then he seemed surprised by that.
That was when I knew the match was over.
That's what you did make your prediction.
It wasn't the glute. I mean,
that.
Jesus, like just karma's got to catch up to you at some point, right?
It's true.
I mean, poor guy with his glute injury, but he had several severe knee or attacks on his knee, I guess.
Yeah, and he didn't love America enough. He wasn't even wearing.
And that wasn't hated by the fans, or maybe was that like
which thing? The glute thing?
Like, it feels like all these wrestlers, like I was going to say, the video you sent me, it was like they agreed not to do like deal with the neck.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Real quick. Okay, so I will post this on our social media channels. But yes, so the gift that I sent you was, and I gave you the backstory. You don't hurt my head and like you won't go after my knee because my knee hurts. And then during the match, there's a bit where the guy, and like the bit in the match, that looked brutal. Like you can believe, oh shit, that guy fucked his knee up real bad. And the referees are out there. He's like in tears, crying. And then when his opponent is then like clapping, like, hey, everybody give it up he tried his best. Like it sucks they hurt his knee. And then he turns his back and the guy with the supposed knee injury kicks him in the back of the head and starts strutting.
Just perfect description of what I do.
That's pro wrestling.
That's wrestling. Yes.
That is pro wrestling.
Exactly.
And I watched that GIF over and over and over. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was very good. It was well summed up, very quick, to the point. Yeah. But that's what you see it all the time. They just go right after any sort of injury. You got a brain injury, they go after the brain.
Yeah, you got to go after the brain. Sometimes you just got to bust some brains. I get it. I'm right there with you. Anything else about the match that stands out that you want to discuss, or is it time to rank this shit?
Yeah, no, we can. All right, let's rank it. Actually, that's a good question. I got to go as a smaller font. Can I see the board?
You may.
Here,
hand that over to you. So we got 8 matches so far. Top match, as always, Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi.
Still hasn't been. Yeah. Have you memorized the board? Could you do this without?
Number 1, Shingo.
Yeah.
2 is it Taz versus Bam Bam?
Yeah.
3 is Kaufman and Hart versus Lawler. 4, oh gosh. 4 is where it starts to get a little hazy. No, I lost it at 4.
Hope versus Macho.
Okay. And then is it
Shield versus Wyatt?
Shield versus another Hulk. I remember that there was a match between the Hulks. Okay. Got it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have remembered them.
Well, I've had to write that.
I rated them myself, and
So what are we thinking? What?
I'm starting to lose track of like what these matches were a little bit.
Well, scientifically, I'm here to help you with the science. So, did you like that? Did you enjoy the match?
I did. I did enjoy the match. I thought overall the match was actually very well. Like that to me was a classic.
Okay,
that's what I expect when you think of wrestling, pro wrestling.
Oh yeah. So we'll start with that. That's our jumping off point. You liked the match. Is it the best match? Was it better than Will Ospreay versus Shingo?
No.
Which had Shingo.
It wasn't that good.
Okay. So it wasn't that good.
No.
And then number 2 is Taz versus Bam Bam. So Taz versus Bam Bam had Taz suplexing Bam Bam to the crowd.
It wasn't there. I'm trying to think of Kaufman, Hart. Wait.
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's right. I remember.
So that was largely comedy.
Yes, I did like that one's gonna stay. I like that one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not here to dissuade you in any way.
I feel like I could put Hulk versus Macho just to put it below Hawking versus.
So for Hulk versus Macho, you were a little upset that you picked Macho Man to win.
Was that?
Yeah.
Was that, I think one of my first.
Because you loved the commentary. That had the best commentary that we've seen so far.
Good call. You're right.
The match itself was altogether not that different from what we like, classic wrestling.
But I fucking love good commentary. That is important to me.
Sure.
Okay. So Shield versus Wyatt. So
It was the Manson family versus the tactical. Yeah, you keep calling them brothers, but none of them are actually brothers.
I probably put it right around there. I just can't up or down.
Wow, for a match that you enjoyed so far, it's going real low on this list. Again, this is scientific. I'm not here to dissuade your opinion one way or the other.
This had nothing like pulling me into the match. This was kind of like watch and like see what happens.
Okay.
I didn't feel really like invested in the match.
Okay. That's fair. You did exclaim after the match was over, Sting is your guy.
Yeah, but I liked how modest Sting was. People probably not give him credit for his speech, but I enjoyed his speech and I respected it.
I should have made a note about that. Yeah. That speech was one of the weirdest.
It's not good. It did not hype up the crowd at all.
Congratulations, Sting.
My mouth is really dry, so try and understand what I'm going to say. Ric Flair is the greatest world champion of all time. Me, on the other hand, I'm a champion tonight and tonight only. I've got some big shoes to fill in Ric Flair's shoes. Although we may have our differences, all I have to say is I'm going to do the best that I can do. And that's it.
That was, so just so you know, that was the very first time he had won the World Heavyweight Championship. Like that's a big, I've seen men cry after winning their first World Championship. Like legitimately, I've seen them break down in tears in the middle of the ring.
I would think it's a prerequisite that you, like, when you win a match like that, you you have to be able to give an amazing, like, crowd hyping speech.
Yes.
I would assume so. But I love the modesty. He's like, that guy is really better than me. But, you know,
from one modest man to another.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would say I'm one of the more modest men.
A man of modest means loves another modest man.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I'd probably put it, I guess, 6.
This is your list. So
yeah, I'd probably put it 6.
Okay.
So that moves. That's 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Hulk versus Andre.
You ask me this question every single episode. Literally every single time.
Give me just a quick rundown.
A bear hug that lasted forever. The birth of the leg up.
The leg up.
Okay. And your favorite bit, the part where they pull the mats up and then Hulk Hogan gets flipped over Andre, but it looked real awkward. And you were insistent upon something, like they were trying to do something they weren't actually trying to do.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Next time we do this.
Yeah. Episode 10. Episode 10 next time.
I'm going to take a quick note and just mark. So I need to know.
You have a phone.
No, but I don't want to write it down right now. I've had a long day. Next time I will come back and I'll go over this. And then, but yeah, so
notes for what each mat, like,
yeah, like something to like kind of like make sure I remember. So I know I'm putting these in a good order.
That's a good idea. I don't know if you weren't doing that the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you remember every detail about all these matches. Yeah, no, the leg up. Fuck yeah. That was, I love that. So this will go behind Hulk versus Andre.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it just, like I said.
Your reaction to Hulk versus Andre was
But I think I lost that match, right?
No, you won it. You didn't win.
Did I?
That was our first match, and you thought, this shit is so easy. Because you were so confident. You were like, I can predict this whenever I want. That was the very first match that we watched.
Yeah, okay. So, that makes, yeah.
And so you just thought, you were very laissez-faire. You were like, oh, wrestling? Yeah, fuck yeah. I know it's good every single time. Yeah. You hadn't had the 5-match losing streak yet. You didn't know how few and far between these victories are going to be.
Yeah, I did not. But
you did win that match for the record.
So, behind that. So, like I said, nothing pulled me in about this match. I did like it.
Yeah.
The last two, I didn't really.
Did Ric Flair not beg enough for you? Did you need more Ric Flair?
I'm not right now. I am not a Ric. I will watch the 30 for 30, but I'm not a. I should not say that.
Okay.
I love his character. I really do. I love the quick to the. That is entertaining. I liked watching it with Greta. I enjoyed the whole experience.
You didn't like the match. You didn't like Ric Flair's part of the match.
No.
You know who hates Ric Flair? Who? Legitimately? My father.
Yeah.
My dad fucking hates Ric Flair.
He is kind of not. I mean, first of all, the whole begging thing just caught me like off guard, and it was very weird. He was not like he didn't do anything like impressive. Like I thought when he like spun off the top of the ring for a second, he was gonna like come back and like kick the guy in the.
Yeah.
None of that happened. He just got like taken out.
You thought he was gonna do fucking ninja
I thought
moves.
yes, like I thought he was gonna do something really fucking cool, and that didn't happen. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so probably I guess this will be the new number 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
7. Oh wow, 7 out of 9. So it's above Vampiro and Kiss Demon, below Hogan. Andre.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
All right. Let me make a quick note. Man, we did it. I think this episode might clock in at our longest of all time.
Right.
Unnecessary for you to say that, but okay. Before we wrap things up, quick little preview. So episode 10 is a big landmark for our show, for our program. So just as a quick little teaser trailer. So next episode, we're going to watch one of the matches that I've seen. I've probably seen this over 100 times, maybe hundreds potentially.
Why so often?
So this match is from the very first pay-per-view that I ever ordered. My parents, whenever I would order a pay-per-view, they would tape it and I would just watch it over and over.
It's like a song, like you listen to.
Yeah, sort of.
Hundreds of times.
Probably.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I have deep knowledge, yes, but incredibly fond memories. Like this encapsulates my childhood.
Are you going to be offended if I pick the wrong?
I'm going to try to be as not biased as I possibly can, but this match means a lot to me, which is why we're saving it for the 10th episode. It's going to be a Survivor Series match. So we're going back to the WWF, actually just a few months after the match that we just watched, later in 1990. Great year. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 man match, elimination style.
Is that a tag team type of style, or is it like they're?
Yes.
Okay, it's
tag team, but with the added caveat of each member of the team has to be eliminated from the match. So it's not first pin wins. It's each member has to be eliminated.
Is this a famous match, or is this just like one of your personal favorites?
Personal favorites. Okay. Not a famous match in any way. But here's what I will say. This match legitimately convinced me that professional wrestling was real.
I love that. Okay, good.
So that is
a great way to wrap this up. I might be back here a little bit sooner. I'm interested now. That has piqued my interest.
This match convinced me, and like it's going to be so bizarre as you watch it, but trust me, this match.
When did you first watch it? Were you
I watched it live.
So like 6, 7.
I just turned 7. I was 7 years old.
Were you with your family?
I'm sure I was.
Pay-per-view.
I'm sure.
Your dad was a wrestling fan, right? Like
my dad, not a big wrestling fan. Like I was a much bigger wrestling fan if he was. I think he would placate me, but I think I think the start of all this was he ordered WrestleMania 3 to see Hulk versus Andre, because I think even to a casual person,
oh sure, yeah,
seeing Andre the fucking Giant and Hulk Hogan, like you were at least a little curious.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he ordered that, and I think I caught wind of it. I was like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Would have known this many years later, you'd be...
Here I am, devoting so much of my time to this this endeavor.
Yeah.
But Eric's Wisdom Tree, I really don't have anything.
Eric, come on. You gotta prepare for these.
Here's what I'll say. Eric's Wisdom Tree, you should only buy ultra pasteurized milk. Because, if you don't drink milk a lot, if you don't use milk for a lot of things, if you don't get ultra pasteurized, it's going to go bad before you use it all. So that you should only get ultra pasteurized.
I hate that.
You hate that?
I hate that.
Why? Do you not like milk?
I don't like milk at all.
That's good because it makes you farty. You get a little farts in your butt.
That doesn't mean I can't respect milk. I just don't like it.
So you have farts from milk?
I don't like milk. I do not like it. It's creamy, kind of like.
It is, yeah. That's a good thing. Creamy things are good.
This is probably something we don't.
What? You got poop problem?
No, I mean it's just.
We gotta wrap it up.
We are 3 hours in, and this is.
Well, it's not 3 hours of recording. This is we had some.
But I don't. Okay, I just hope
only buy ultra pasteurized milk. Yeah. You're the one who wanted to come out and say things against Eric's Wisdom Tree.
Your Wisdom Tree is bullshit. Not happy with it this week. I think you had something better last. What was it?
I was doing a lot of preparation on Ric Flair and Sting, sir. I don't have time to come up with great stuff all the time. Just, think about the good times. Think about how you shouldn't trust women with foot tattoos and just leave it at that.
That was good.
That was
any quick boat names?
Boat names?
Yeah, just a quick one or that.
Mons Pubis. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Appreciate your time. Check us out next time when we're on the internet. And until then, keep it cool.
The NWA.
The national, okay. Don't you.